Could you live with yourself after doing this to your wife? I'm not proud of what I did, and I've been carrying this weight for months now. I guess I'm hoping that maybe writing it out, in this anonymous space, will help me make sense of my actions. But deep down, I know there's no justification for what happened. My wife, Claire, and I have been married for almost 8 years. We've always had a solid relationship, no major drama, and no real problems until I started getting restless at work. My job had become monotonous, and with a promotion that was always just out of reach, I started to feel stagnant in every part of my life, including our marriage. I was turning 35, and the idea of being stuck in the same place for the rest of my life made me anxious. I didn't want to be one of those guys who looked back and realized they'd wasted their best years. The problem was, I wasn't sure how to escape the rut I felt stuck in. And that's when I met someone at work. Her name was Lisa. She was younger, vibrant, and full of energy. She was new to the company, and we hit it off right away. We started working together on a project, spending more and more time outside of work discussing ideas and strategies. At first, I told myself it was just a professional connection, nothing more. But as time went on, I found myself looking forward to our meetings. She made me feel alive again, like I had a spark that had been missing for years. One night, after a late meeting, Lisa and I ended up grabbing drinks. One drink turned into two, and before I knew it, we were talking about personal things, dreams, regrets, the future. Then, it happened. We kissed. It wasn't planned. It wasn't something I had consciously set out to do. But once it happened, I couldn't stop myself. I was in the moment, and I felt like I finally had control over my life again. I didn't go home that night. I stayed at a hotel. The next morning, I was racked with guilt, but I told myself that it was a one-time mistake. I brushed it off as something that wouldn't affect my marriage, that it didn't mean anything. But the truth was, I couldn't get Lisa out of my head. I didn't tell Claire. I couldn't. I knew that admitting what I'd done would shatter everything we had built together. Instead, I began pulling away. I stopped being as affectionate as I once was. I wasn't as present when Claire needed me. And slowly, the distance between us grew. Claire, being the amazing woman she is, could sense something was off. She started asking questions, but I deflected. I told her I was stressed at work, that everything was fine, but the truth was, nothing was fine. Every time I looked at Claire, I saw her trusting, loving face, and it made me feel like I was betraying her all over again. The real breaking point came one evening, about a month later, when Claire found a message on my phone from Lisa. It was innocent enough, just a text about work, but in that moment, Claire's eyes told me everything. She asked me point blank if I had been seeing someone else. I was caught. I could have told her the truth. I could have confessed everything. But instead, I panicked. I lied. I told her it was nothing, that I hadn't done anything wrong. Claire didn't buy it. She cried, and I could see the hurt in her eyes, eyes that had always looked at me with nothing but love and trust. She asked me to leave the house for a while, and I did, leaving her to process everything. I couldn't even bear to look at her face as I walked out. That was months ago, and we haven't really spoken since. I'm living in a rented apartment, and Claire has refused to talk to me about anything other than logistics. I've tried to reach out, but the damage is done. I know it's my fault. I know I hurt the woman who stood by me through everything. And I can't help but ask myself every day, could I ever live with myself after doing this to her? I haven't heard from Lisa since that night, and I don't want to. I know now that what I was looking for wasn't in her, but in myself. I've destroyed the one person who trusted me the most. I can't undo what I did, and I don't know if Claire will ever forgive me. Could you live with yourself after doing this? Because right now, I don't think I can.